A vision without execution is hallucination. Think about it. Tastes like burnt char. Today I'm going to be talking about this Mustank GT Clearomizer, and as you guys just saw before, the vape quality is shat. That is my experience anyways. I mean, it is no good unless you like burnt dry hits. And it was disappointing to me because I was looking forward to vaping off this device. It's $26, very affordable. I love the tank, the way it's so easy to fill this sucker up. I mean, you just take the top off, you fill her up. It's not like you fill it up from the bottom like a lot of these other devices, the King Pro tanks, the Nautilus, etc. You fill this sucker from the top, you have a lot of room from the top to fit your needle or your dropper or whatever. It holds 3.5 mils of e-liquid, so I was super stoked. Pyrex tank, you can use all your juices that crack plastic tanks. You don't have to worry about that. That's a good thing. The airflow is awesome, man. I love the draw off this. Off of a tank, it's great. You can do your lung hits, you can get that nice restrictive lung hit, or you can close it off, do your mouth to lung hits. I also really like the fact that the AFC ring doesn't spin. It's not loose. It's actually restrictive. It's actually tight. And it's got a pin down there which holds it in place. But what does all these good things that I just mentioned matter if this thing vapes like shit? The first coil head that I installed in here vaped great from the get-go, but within 5 minutes it shorted out. The second coil head, which I have in here now, I'm just getting dry hit after dry hit after dry hit, and they are 1.7 ohm coils, by the way. 1.7 ohm coil heads, and I'm vaping her at 9.5 watts. This is a bottom coil clearomizer, by the way. So yeah, 1.7 ohms at 9.5 watts, and I'm still getting dry hits. I've even dropped it down to 8.5 watts, still getting dry hits. Muted flavor, it's just not good. Definitely do not recommend this device. I think this manufacturer needs to take some notes from Nautilus, from Aspire. Okay, I've vaped 100% VG or 95% VG juices in here. I've vaped 70-30, 70 VG, 30 PG. I've vaped a 60 VG, 40 PG. I've vaped a 50-50 blend, thinner viscosity juices, and with the thinner juices I get a little bit better vape quality because it's thinner, it's easier to wick to the coil, but it's still dry hit. I can't go over 10.5 watts without it becoming just a horrible vape. But I've only used two coil heads. I've got sub-ohm coil heads for this device coming. I'm going to be vaping on those and I'll keep you guys updated, but the stock coil heads that come with this are garbage. But again, those are my experiences. Like I said, I've only used two stock coil heads. I'm sure there's someone out there that's watching this right now that has this device and is getting a fantastic vape experience. Well, maybe. Or they're just getting a horrible one like me. But if you're getting a fantastic vape experience, I definitely want to know. And here's the other thing. If you're getting a fantastic vape experience off this and I'm getting a shitty vape experience off this, that tells you one thing. Inconsistency. And that's not good. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive down. I'm going to show you close up with this bad boy. Then we'll come back and wrap her up. Alrighty, so here it is. The authentic Mustank GT Clearomizer. Scratch coating to check authenticity. The instructions on how to use this bad boy. Quick startup guide. Lid comes off. Inside you got this warning, another instructional guide on how to use this, what to do, what not to do. And here's all the goods. You got the tank, you got the extra coil head, and you've got the beauty ring. A quick look at these stock coil heads, each coil head reading 1.5 ohms. Okay, and you receive two coil heads, one in the boxing as you guys just saw separate, and then the other one is already installed in the tank. You've got two notches on each side. Inside there you could see that polyfill, that inner layer of that polyfill, and how it works is, okay, just like those other tanks, those Aspires, the Kangers, etc., these are a bottom clearomizer, a bottom coil clearomizer setup. You screw this into the base, which I'll show you guys in a second, and then the juice sits down into this, feeds through those notches to the wick and then to the coil. So here's a top view of this coil head, and it is a dual coil head. You got two coils in there, and you've got these notches. See these notches? Those coils sit perpendicular, okay, in each notch. This one sits in that notch on each side, and then one below it sits on that notch on each side. And then you've got that polyfill, or that inner fill, that white stuff, okay, that's behind each of those notches, that sits in front of these notches with the juice feeds in. So here's the Mustank GT tank all assembled. It holds 3.5 mils of e-juice, and this is the gunmetal version. You got two options. You can either choose the chrome version or the gunmetal. Airflow. Down here, you got two Cyclops slots on each side, and you've got this pin, and how it works is this knurl section right here, you just twist it one way or the other, and the good thing about that pin is it holds this thing into place. So, you know, it's not too restrictive, but it's not too loose. It's actually perfect because there's O-rings behind that. This is fitted over O-rings, which makes it to where it's got a great feel. It's not just gonna, you know, slide around everywhere, but it also has that pin to where when it stops, it's not gonna just spin freely. Great, great, great design in my opinion. Super simple. But yeah, you adjust it, and what it looks like on this side, it's gonna look like on this side. I like to keep it wide open. That's just my preferred. Here are your 510 threads. This sucker fits on everything. It's compatible with everything that I own. You've got this pin down here, and it's not adjustable, but it's a stainless steel pin. Pyrex tank section, and then up here is the drip tip. In order to fill this sucker, let me show you how to do it. Take the drip tip out, unscrew this top knurl section right here, and you fill it through those spaces. Okay, like I said, this thing holds 3.5 mils of e-liquid, and what I love about this is there's no wasted space. Here's the top section, close up. So yeah, that's how you fill this sucker up. Easy, just slide your dropper through those spaces, one on one side or one on the other. You pick, and you just squirt, squeeze, and it fills. Tank section disassembles just like this. And then what screws into the base is your dual coil head, your bottom dual coil head. Unscrews just like this. Threads, thread into those threads. And here is the base, which I showed you guys with the adjustable airflow. Bottom coil head screws back into the base. Tank screws into the base. Make sure you screw it in to where it looks just like that, not like that. Okay, the plug protrudes out, whereas on this side the plug goes in. Okay, if that makes any sense. So wherever the plug goes in, you want to screw that in into the base. Make sure it's tight. Once you've got this portion all assembled, okay, you've got the tank on there, you've got your coil in there, you fill her up, pop the top cap on there, drip tip. And this unit also comes with a beauty ring for your ego devices. So you screw this thing onto your ego devices, pop your tank on there, and it gives you a flush look. So that is the GT Mustank bottom coil Clearomizer. Let's go ahead and take her back to FaceTime. Yeah, so that is the GT Mustank, or the Mustank GT Clearomizer. Do I recommend it? No. I don't recommend it. I didn't get a good vape off it. If I don't get a good vape off of something, I'm definitely not going to recommend it. Where did I receive this from? A company called Vape Happy. My boy out in Las Vegas. He's got an online shop, Be Vape Happy, bevapehappy.com. Here's a link in the description. Mike, if you're watching this, don't buy any more of these. This is Rip Trippers, and I hope that helps. And remember, smoking is dead, vaping is the future, and the future is now.